They made you believe the problem was you, that your emotions were too much, that your memory was faulty, that your instincts were paranoid. But here is what they never told you. Every word they said was calculated. Every reaction they had was performed. Every moment of confusion you felt was engineered. You are not watching this video by accident. Something inside you broke the spell. A crack in their perfect mask. A moment where the truth bled through. And now you cannot unsee it. But seeing it is not enough, because narcissists do not just manipulate. They rewire how you see yourself. They colonize your inner voice. They turn your strengths into weapons against you. This video will show you the invisible architecture of their control. Not theories, not abstractions. The actual psychological mechanisms they use. The patterns your mind has been trained to ignore. By the end of this, you will recognize every move before they make it. You will see the game board they have been playing on. And most importantly, you will remember who you were before they convinced you otherwise. This is not about revenge. This is about reclaiming the parts of yourself they tried to erase. Let me show you how they operate. The first mechanism is called projection reversal. Here is how it works. They accuse you of the exact thing they are doing. When they lie, they call you dishonest. When they cheat, they question your loyalty. When they manipulate, they say you are controlling. This is not random. This is tactical. Your brain cannot process being accused and guilty simultaneously, so it goes into defense mode. You start explaining yourself, justifying your actions, proving your innocence. And while you are defending, they are rewriting reality. Picture this visually. Imagine a courtroom where the criminal sits in the judge's chair. They point at you in the defendant's box. They list your crimes with perfect confidence. The crimes they committed, but now the crimes wear your face. Your energy drains into defense. Their guilt transfers onto your shoulders. You carry shame that was never yours. This is why conversations with them feel like drowning. You enter with one concern. You leave questioning your entire character. They flip the script so fast you forget what you came to say. The accusation becomes the reality. Your defense becomes the evidence. And suddenly you are apologizing for things you never did. This is not confusion. This is engineered disorientation. They make you the problem so you stop seeing them clearly. The moment you recognize this pattern, their power fractures, because projection only works in the dark. The second mechanism is intermittent reinforcement. This is where the real trap locks. Think of a slot machine. You pull the lever. Sometimes you win, most times you lose, but you keep pulling, because the wins are random enough to keep hope alive. Narcissists use the same algorithm on your heart. They give you warmth after coldness, affection after cruelty, validation after humiliation. The pattern is unpredictable, and that unpredictability is the drug. Your brain releases dopamine during the good moments, not because the moments are genuinely good, but because they follow pain. The contrast creates the high. You become addicted to the relief, not the person. Here is the metaphor that makes this visible. Imagine you are in a dark room. They control the light switch. Sometimes the lights come on and you see beauty, then sudden darkness. You did not move. You did not change. But somehow you are searching in the dark again, trying to figure out what you did wrong, what you can do to bring the light back. The truth is, the darkness was always planned. The light was never about you. It was bait. And every time you chase it, you give them more control. Consistent cruelty would make you leave. Intermittent kindness makes you stay. This is why leaving feels impossible. Your nervous system is wired to their chaos. Now learn the silent liberation strategy, so no one can manipulate you. This is not about confrontation. This is about internal separation. They cannot control what they cannot read, so you become unreadable. When they provoke, you stay neutral, not cold, not warm. Neutral, like you are observing weather, not engaging with it. They will escalate. They will push harder for reaction. Let them. Your silence is not weakness. It is strategy. Here's what you do internally. Create a witness inside your mind. A part of you that watches the interaction from above. When they speak, the witness takes notes. When they accuse, the witness records patterns. When they rage, the witness stays calm. This split protects you, because narcissists feed on emotional fusion. They need you tangled in their reality. The moment you step back mentally, their power drains. You are in the room, but not of the room. Present, but unreachable. This is how you prepare to leave without them knowing. You stop defending. You stop explaining. You stop trying to make them see you, because they never will, and that is not your failure. That is their design. While they think they still have you, you are building your exit, quietly, carefully, gathering your energy back piece by piece. This is not cruelty. This is survival. And survival does not require their permission. Let me name what happened to you. Gaslighting, emotional hostage-taking, triangulation, love bombing followed by devaluation. These are not just words. They are the anatomy of your confusion. Gaslighting is when they rewrite your memory until you doubt your own mind. You remember the conversation clearly. They swear it never happened. You felt their cruelty. They tell you that you are too sensitive. Your reality becomes negotiable. Their version becomes law. Triangulation is when they bring a third person into your relationship. An ex, a coworker, a friend. Not for connection, for comparison. To make you compete for attention you should already have. To make you feel replaceable. Love bombing is the avalanche of affection at the beginning. Excessive texting, future planning, soulmate language. It feels like destiny, but it is a speed run to dependency. They need you attached before you see who they are. Then comes devaluation. The same person who worshipped you now criticizes everything. Your laugh, your choices, your existence. Nothing changed except their mask slipped. Understanding these mechanisms does not erase the pain, but it removes the mystery. You were not broken. You were targeted. And targeting requires a predator. What you feel is real. The confusion is real. The exhaustion is real. The grief for who they pretended to be is real. You are not overreacting. You are underprocessing years of calculated harm. Your body kept the score, even when your mind tried to rationalize. The tightness in your chest during their silence, the nausea before seeing them, the hypervigilance that never lets you rest. These are not symptoms of weakness. They are evidence of survival. Something inside you knew before you had the words. Your intuition was screaming, but they trained you to ignore it. They called it insecurity, jealousy, paranoia, but it was protection. Listen to me carefully. You did not fail at loving them. They failed at being human. And that distinction matters, because you brought authenticity to a performance, vulnerability to a transaction, depth to a shallow pool. The mismatch was not your fault. Now comes the awakening, the part where you realize their opinion of you was never about you. It was about control. Every criticism was a leash. Every compliment was a chain disguised as jewelry. You do not need their validation to be whole. You never did. The wholeness was always yours. They just convinced you to rent it back from them. Stop paying. Picture a Tuesday morning. Nothing special. You are making coffee. Sunlight through the kitchen window. Your phone buzzes. Their name appears. Your stomach drops before you read the message. That is the moment you know. Your body learned faster than your mind. You read the text. It is kind, today, almost loving, but you feel nothing. Not relief, not joy, just exhaustion. Because you know this version will not last. By tonight or tomorrow, the other one returns. The one who makes you small. You pour the coffee. Your hands shake slightly, not from caffeine, from living in permanent anticipation of cruelty. You think about a year ago, when their texts made you smile, when you believed the warmth was permanent, when you thought love was supposed to feel like walking on glass. Now you stand in your kitchen, holding a cup that burns your palms. and you realize something. The pain in your hands is temporary. You can let go any time. But the pain they cause has no off switch, unless you create one. This moment right here, this ordinary Tuesday, this is where freedom begins. Not in grand confrontations and quiet recognition. You deserve coffee without dread, mornings without fear, a life without their weather patterns. You were never the problem. You were the mirror they could not face. Now you know how they operate, the projection, the intermittent reinforcement, the names of the weapons they used. This knowledge is your armor, but knowledge alone does not protect you. Action does. Distance does. Reclaiming your reality does. They are still out there, still using the same playbook on someone else. But you're done being the stage for their performance. Subscribe to the channel and do not stop at this video. They are still using tricks you have not noticed. The next video will show you how they do it, and once you see it, you will never see people the same way again.